Hello! Welcome back to
Oil and Gas
Carcast.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
All
Just
right.
had a wonderful grilled cheese sandwich and I'm ready to rock.
Okay.
Today's subject is, I guess, just us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the vehicles we've had in the past and ownership of them. And
explain a little bit about our taste in vehicles, I guess, to give a reference point. We probably should have done this earlier, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Give a reference point to some of our crazier, stranger views.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't you go first?
All right. Well, I guess a little background before I talk about the cars is growing up, my dad was really big into drag racing and specifically into one genre of car, and that would be at first it was American Muscle. So he was really big in the Z28 Camaro, like the Catfish Camaro.
Yep.
He loved those cars. And then my mom wanted to also get a cool car. And they went to a dealership to go look at another Camaro. And it was convertible, I think. I don't really remember a lot of it because they didn't end up getting it. Because right next to it was a purple or maroon Mitsubishi 3000 GT. So they ended up getting that because it was half the price. It was a manual, and it had half the miles. So they were like, why would I get this Camaro when I can get this car?
And they almost looked the same at that era. So
Yeah. I mean,
there were a lot of similarities
because it
between
was
the two.
a second gen, so it wasn't a pop-up headlights or anything. It was, it was actually pretty similar. And Camaro had back seats. I mean, it's as much of a back seat as 3000 GT.
Catfish Camaro is a 2+2.
Yeah.
I've sat in the back of
Yeah.
my girlfriend's Firebird, and it was an 01, and you can't.
Well, you
fit an
know,
adult
you know
like
how
that.
wide 3000 GT is. The back seats are also like insurance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, they got that car, and my dad actually, at first, he didn't like it because it wasn't American. And the longer they had it, the more he was like interested in it, and like started doing more research and finding more stuff on it. And
Of course, to be clear, this was back in the 90s, so
yes, it was back in, I don't know, probably around 93. I'm not sure on the date, but around that area. And so the car was pretty new at the time because I think it was a 94 or 95. So yeah, it had to be
that time.
that time, yeah, for sure. Yeah, maybe a little later than that then. They might have gotten like 97 then. But anyway, they got that car. My dad started taking interest in it and liked it, but it wasn't fast enough.
Of course not.
Because they only made 180 horsepower because it was an SL. It was front wheel drive,
Non-turbo.
non-turbo, just the base. And
Is that the single cam or dual?
it was a dual cam.
Okay.
It was a SL, so it wasn't a base, but it wasn't the cool one.
It wasn't the cool one.
And he found a guy selling a turbo model, and he was like, "Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna sell my Camaro and get the turbo model." So he ended up doing that. I don't know if he had a Stealth or a 3000 GT, but they're basically the same car. It's just one's Dodge and one's a Mitsubishi. And then a little after that, I think it was like 6 months after, he said, some guy was selling a 3000 GT VR4 Spider, which, to some of you that don't know, the 3000 GT Spider was the first retractable hardtop convertible ever made. Unless you want to count the Ford Skyline, which I don't count. It doesn't really fold. It just retracts. So this is why a lot of people consider the 3000 GT the first retractable hardtop, like true retractable hardtop convertible. And some guy was selling it for like super cheap. I forgot why. He needed the money really bad. Like he was going to go to jail or something like that. So he just needed the money. So my dad bought it and kept it for a very, very long time, built it up, did a lot of stuff to it, and ended up holding the fastest time for that car until he sold it. And he sold it when I was around 3 or 4. But I always remembered that car. That's kind of what got me into cars, is the 3000 GTs. So I ended up buying. I've owned 3 or 4 of them now, and I own one now. I own actually another white 3000 GT VR4 Spider, just like my dad did. So
it's actually the one, isn't it?
It's the one. So
now let's not like glaze over this because that's a pretty cool story in itself. You actually found the spider that he had.
Yep.
And you were able to get it back from Hawaii. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it ended up there.
Yeah, and again, it's a rare car, so a lot of people don't know much about them. But they, in total, for the Spiders, they made I think 1,048, something around that number. I don't remember the exact number now, but it's like 1,048 Spiders. And then they only came in 3 colors. You got a white, black, or red, and the yellow, which is rare. They made 17 of those. And then supposedly they made 2 Panama green pearls. There's no evidence of them ever being made, so that could just be a rumor. But so really, there's 3, and then there's very, very rare yellow ones. And then out of they're made in 2 years, 95, 96. And then out of the 95s, they only made 26 white ones. So I have. Being Corvette owner here, but I have one of 26 in the white. So it is a pretty cool car. I don't think I'll ever sell it. It's just kind of started my foundations.
I mean, the fact that that's this car you rode around in as a kid, and that's the car that started it all, and you found that car. Yeah, he's got the actual his child seat from when he was a kid.
This was in the back of
a Simpson racing seat in the back of a 3000 GT Spider.
Yeah, this is what I sat in. So
I can't believe you still have that too. That's
I kept
awesome.
it, or my dad kept it. So when I use it later in my life, my kid will also sit in the same 3000 GT.
That's so cool. See, that's one of the coolest car stories that I've seen. Is just because you actually found the one.
Yep.
And that, cool. I mean, granted, if there's only 27 of them on the planet ever made, I guess finding the same one again isn't too crazy, but still, that's just so cool.
Yeah, a lot of the parts were there. When he sold it, the guy parted it out. So because it had a lot of high performance parts on it, because it was the fastest in the world, which I don't know why he just kept I don't know like why someone would just buy it like that and then just make it better. But he. The guy that bought it from my dad parted it out immediately, and I guess he made a lot of money off of doing that. But so a lot of the parts on the car aren't what my dad did to it. So it's kind of not really.
It's not the same car, but it's the same VIN. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same chassis.
Yep. So. Anyway, you want to tell your backstory before we get into cars?
I mean, really, I just started out actually working, I mostly drove tractors, lawnmowers, stuff like that as young as 3. Yeah. I was already on a tractor, learning how to ride it just for fun. I've always been interested in cars since I was a little kid. My dad was a drag racer.
Yeah.
He had a 73 Nova that he used to race all the time with, and then he ended up selling it when my mom got pregnant. And, I grew up in a family of cars. I grew up in a family of mechanics as well. Yeah. I mean, really, my grandparents on both sides, my grandpas on both sides were both mechanics of sorts.
Yeah.
One was an engineer, but he also hot rodded, and one was an actual mechanic.
Yeah.
And I come from a long lineage of it. My dad did it. I did it. Mm-hmm. I stopped doing it. But I stopped doing it as a job.
Yeah, as a job.
Still do it for fun.
Yeah.
But, I got into drag racing at a young age, too, watching them. Mm-hmm. I got into Baja racing. I never actually got to do it, but I was super into it because I loved mini trucks as a young age. That was my first real love.
Yep.
Like, of type was I knew I wanted a mini truck, and so because I saw hard bodies and I saw Toyotas and I saw the Chevy Loves, the S10s, the Rangers, I just knew I wanted a mini truck.
Yeah.
And when I was a little kid, we used to go to car shows, and I used to see him. And I'd see him at the drag strip. I'd see him, and so. But then when I saw him at Baja, that was when it really sold it for me, because I was like, I'm watching these trucks like Ivan Iron Man Stewart and Roger Mears and heroes like that, and Spencer Lowe racing these trucks across 1,000 miles of desert, and it's anyway. I go on and on, but that was what kind of got me started into cars. I guess I've always been into it, but
Yeah.
I mean, things like that really pushed me into the obsessive phase, I guess.
Yeah,
call
I
it.
actually didn't know all your mini truck stuff was because of Baja racing. That's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
I mean, I love mini truck, lowrider mini trucks.
Yeah.
I've had them. I've built them.
Yeah.
I'm building them again.
Yeah.
But my first love was Baja racing.
Yeah.
And
But we really do need to make a rally car then.
I mean,
We've been joking about making a rally car for a little bit, but now hearing this, we got to do this. We got to make a rally car.
well, yeah. I got enough projects
Projects.
right
Yeah,
now.
we do have enough projects.
I just got another project, so I don't need any more right now.
Yeah,
But no, I'm always. That's why I've been telling you we need to get you a Mighty Max.
Yeah.
I currently own. I have to go down the list, but I currently own, my primary vehicle is a 1986 Nissan 720.
It's a pretty cool truck.
It's a king cab.
It's pretty cool
automatic, but it's pretty minty.
Yeah.
I also have a 4x4 single cab 86 hardbody V6, which I built and am rebuilding because I got the head gaskets blown on me. Well, I blew them, I guess. I didn't really do anything special. I was driving down the highway, but now I'm building a VG33 for it. But then I've off-roaded with it, and I'm building it to be like my dream truck, which is a 88 Nissan Desert Runner.
Yep.
Which was the truck that Nissan made in celebration of their win of the Mint 400. Like for 2 years in a row, they came out with a celebratory truck that was the Desert Runner. It was painted like like their race trucks. It was supposed to be a Baja truck, and they only made 1,000 of them. Actually, 1,002, but they only really made 1,000 of them. And I have seen one in person, two in person, but I've never come close to them. There was a couple in the state, and one was at a junkyard. I tried really hard to get it, could not get it. They crushed it. That breaks my heart every single time.
Yeah.
The other one got sold to a out-of-state buyer.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I decided it's just easier for me to just go ahead and build my own because I am not going to be able to find another one of those. So I've just been trying to build a faithful replica of one. I'm not going to call it a real Desert Runner because it's not, but because mine's an 86, so it can't be a real Desert Runner. But anyway, that's enough of that. But yeah, I've got those. I just got myself a 2007 Suzuki Boulevard that I traded another hardbody for.
Yep.
So that's been my newest project that I've just now got started
Yeah,
on.
newest project meaning literally 2 days ago.
Yeah, literally 2 days ago. I hinted at it the last episode, but yeah, that happened just now.
Yep.
What else do I have? I have a Geo Metro 1996 that I've had for 10 years now. Actually, 11 years now.
Yeah.
Which may need a motor soon. And I just picked up a 78 Dodge RV that I'm going to convert into basically a car hauler / camper.
Yeah.
Toy hauler. I think I've sold off most of my other stuff. I've had a lot of vehicles.
You're missing a pretty big vehicle here, Joe.
Oh yeah, I also have one back there, 1989 Chevy S10 drag truck. I forgot
the drag truck that the whole reason the shop is here, kind of thing.
Yeah, I built this shop for racing and all that.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you can see I got many. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a mini truck. That's not mine; it's my buddy's. But we're working on it, and then my dad's Nova behind it that I bought him. I bought him that Nova because 2 reasons. One, I found a guy that had it for a great deal, and I really wanted to pay him back for all of the help that he gave me on building that drag truck. So that I think the plan may be going into the future, because that drag truck's pretty twisted up from them beating it up every weekend. The motor and drivetrain may end up going into that Nova, and it may be pretty cool, little hot rod out of the deal. Don't know what I'll do with the truck. I'll keep it for something. But
Yeah. Put a 4G in it or something.
I don't think I'll be doing that, but you know what? Anything's possible at this point.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. But yeah, currently you've got a
Yeah, currently I have not as many vehicles as Joe, but unfortunately I got bitten by the bug. I don't know who it's from, probably my grandfather, honestly, that any vehicle I have, it has to be like the top of the line, which hinders a lot of the vehicles that I like. Like, for example, if I ever bought a Supra, it'd have to be a manual turbo, which is twice the price of an automatic non-turbo. But anyways, the vehicles I have right now, I have a 2011 Hyundai Equus Ultimate, which is Hyundai's version of
ultimate.
Yeah, the Ultimate. So it's their version of trying to. It was kind of a little before Genesis was a brand. They didn't really understand that no one would buy a $80,000 Hyundai, and so it didn't sell. It's a very rare car, and it is really cool though. It has massage seats, reclining seats. I mean, basically any.
You can watch Harry Potter in the back seat
Yeah,
while getting
you
a
can
massage.
watch. Yep, exactly.
And you can have your wine chilled in the center console.
Oh yeah, it has a fridge.
'cause you-
It has all the weird luxury features that you just would never use. Like, trying to think of there's so many in there. I just can't think of any right now. Oh, this isn't a technology feature, but the rear seat, when you lower your mirror down, the light slowly turns on so it doesn't blind you. Just a little luxury, you know. Just small things like
Hate
that.
to
around the
admit
car.
it to you, but my 1986 Nissan also has the slow fade dome light.
All right, I guess I'm not alone on that one.
But
Trying to
I'm
think
not
of
trying
something
to.
else. Man, there's so many other things. Oh, there's a pollen mode in that car.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so it has normal recirc, so it just keeps the air in the car, or you can turn pollen mode, which makes the air go through the filter 3 times before it goes to the cabin. So, anytime I'm going through a field of flowers, I got to hit that button. But just weird stuff like
You've
that.
got a button for every occasion.
Yeah, basically. I just like it because it's a nice car to be in for not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, I say that it is broken in his field right now because the air suspension is
Busted.
yeah, it's not good.
We're not dealing with that anymore.
We're actually taking it out, and putting normal coilovers in there.
That's the best thing we're going to do.
Yeah.
That has been the thorn in that car's side and your side.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your wallet's side.
Yes.
Because that is a
Yeah.
expensive. That's the reason you can get those cars for so cheap.
It's because of the air suspension. Like if you're on the forum, every other post is my air suspension just broke. How do I fix this on the air suspension? What can I do other than air suspension? Like everybody's trying to fix it or get rid of it.
I mean, it is telling that nothing else seems to be a problem on that car.
No.
Really.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of the typical transmission problems
Yeah,
or
no.
engine problems
Yeah,
or this
everything
or that.
else is good on that car.
It's just all the
Air
airbags
suspension.
just simultaneously exploded. What do I do?
yeah. Well, and then they're measured in bar liter.
We had to learn a whole new unit of measurement
Yeah.
to fix that car.
Yep. Yeah, it's just from what I think, there's not actually a lot of research done where those came from, the bags, but I think what Hyundai did is they make semi-trailers, and I think they took their design from semi-trailer bags and they just put it on this car. Because this is the first car they made with air suspension that I could find. So they literally just semi-trailers were like same concept.
I
So
wouldn't even doubt it at this point.
yeah, so that's that car. My other broken car, which I briefly talked about, is my 3000 GT VR4 Spider. That one that's going to be my forever car. Right now, it's sitting on twin Evo 8 turbos, a full Deschwerks fuel system, 1300cc injectors, a Greddy front mount intercooler, or sorry, I think it's HKS front mount intercooler, HKS blow valve. It's blow through. That's about it. Oh, it has a Chrome ECU, which is just a tunable stock ECU. But and it's on air suspension. But a better air suspension. It's on Airlift 3P and 3H. So I can actually deal with that. So you
actually can control it.
Yeah, I can actually control the air suspension.
And you don't have to learn what bar liters are.
Yes. So, but my goal in that car is to leave it on the outside to where it looks stock. Like no one from the outside could really tell, other than the exhaust. Oh, it has a pit road M exhaust. That's another thing, I guess. Other than the exhaust and the blow valve, you can't really tell it's modified at all. But when you step on it, you're getting 500 to all four wheels type of thing. So it'll be a fun car when it's running. But right now,
it's already a fun car.
It is a fun car, yeah.
What little I've got to drive it has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, last time we drove it, the fuel pressure just suddenly dropped, and me and Joe took it apart and found that the fuel filter was just clogged. Like, absolutely, like...
filled.
Yeah, like
with trash.
We took it out, and he turned it over, and it just dripped orange, which... that already gave me concern. And then he started shaking it, and you could hear sand, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was... So the tank's got to drop, because there's all kinds of goodies in there.
But it's kind of a good thing, because I wanted to go E85 soon anyway, so I'm glad that happened before. So while it's being dropped, we're going to put new stainless lines all the way. Obviously get the fuel tank fixed, sealed and everything. Clean the fuel system again, because everything's brand new in it. So it should just need to be cleaned, and then get it tuned on the E85. And hopefully I'm done with that car. I can just drive it and enjoy it, because that's kind of where I wanted it. And
you're never done with it.
Yeah.
You'll never. It's a project car.
Well, modification.
Ask me how I know.
Performance-wise, that's kind of really
fair enough.
Everything else is kind of just going to be cool, like old school 90s parts.
That is fun, though.
And then my last vehicle is kind of my only reliable vehicle. It's a Kawasaki ZX-14. And it makes around 203 wheel horsepower on a dyno. And
it rocks and rolls.
It rocks and rolls, and I have fun with that one. But that's what I'm dealing with right now.
That's
two broken cars and one actually good bike.
Yeah. That's a... I mean, we could go on and on. Now, I could probably tell. I've had probably 15 cars in my past.
Yeah.
I could go on stories and stories and stories of that. It
Yeah.
would take. We would go into the hours of how long that would take. So
Yeah.
I'll probably save y'all most of that. But I've had quite a few vehicles. But I will say, what would you say your dream car is? Because I've already kind of said mine. Mine is my dream car of all vehicles I could ever have is an
Yeah.
88 Desert Runner.
Yeah.
Nissan Desert Runner. What would your dream... It could actually... It could be a bike, too. Or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. So...
Like, that's the forever.
Uh-huh. The Spider was my dream car growing up.
Yeah.
So, like, through high school, that's all I wanted to get. Like, I was working my way up to get a Spider. And, of course... them being so rare, they were just so expensive at the time, and they just keep getting more expensive. I'm glad I got it when I got mine, because it's double from when I bought it. So that's what I wanted to get, and eventually I worked my way up to it. I have a good friend, his name's Jared Holt. He races for 1320. He has that green Supra, the Yoda. Anyway, he found it, told me, and I was like, yes, I'm selling my car right now. Give me a week. And he gave me a week. I sold my car and bought the Spider from him. At the time, it was not running. It was not in a good condition at all, but I fixed it up enough. But anyway, so other than that Spider, it's kind of a weird take, but I really want I'm trying to think of the year it was now. I think it was a 2023, maybe a little older than that now. Maybe 2021, something like that.
Pretty new.
Yeah, pretty new. It's the Acura NSX Type S. So I always loved the looks of the older NSX. I think it's one of the most beautiful looking cars ever made. It's definitely one of the best track cars ever made. Like, it is just
Agreed.
such a good, fun car to drive. And then the new NSX came out, and I was with everybody else. I was like, this is stupid. It's a hybrid. It doesn't even look like an NSX anymore. Like, I didn't like it at all. And then I got to sit in one at a track experience day, and I rode in it. I rode in the GTR first, because everyone, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to ride in the R35 GTR. And then someone else booked it for the second lap, so I was like, I guess I'll drive in the Ferrari. And then this NSX pulled up behind it, and I was like, that's kind of a little more my style. I'll ride the NSX instead. And I kid you not, I like that way more than the GTR. And this is going to blow some heads here, but everyone's like, oh no, there's no way it's better than GTR. I'll tell you right now, that was way more fun than the GTR was. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the hybrid system, being able to pull the front wheels a little more torque than the GTR. And the GTR is pretty torquey car. Like, that car is definitely not a joke. Like,
No.
It's a fun car for sure.
It's fun.
But that NSX, it made all the right sounds. It hooked. It is a designated track car. Like, I don't know why everyone made. I think it just has the same problem as every other kind of newer hybrid car. Is it's a hybrid, so everyone's like, oh, I don't want to drive that. Like, that looks stupid. But once you ride in it, it's one of those cars that change your mind once you're in it. And I told myself I would not get in another one until I buy one.
Damn.
Yeah. I've never been in a Type S. The Type S is their, like, Type R, I guess. It's the new Type R of the Honda line, or the
Well, I
Acura
couldn't
line.
call it the Type R. I mean, why would they
Yeah.
want to call it the same thing they have?
Yeah. So it's called Type S now. And I've never been in a Type S.
They used to have a Type S. The NSX Type S was actually in Japan only, though.
Yeah,
It was,
I know.
It was Type Super, is
Yeah,
what they called it.
Yeah, the NSX, they had an NSX T, which T was not turbo. It standed for Targa. And so it was the Targa one, which that is the only thing I don't like actually about the new NSX is it's only coupe. No Targa, no convertible, nothing. So,
Better structural rigidity.
yeah. Which is what the NSX is made for. But yeah, that would be my dream car is the NSX Type S. Really any NSX, but the Type S is the dream car,
Yeah.
you know. But I'd really buy just any NSX. Saying that, the last 2 years they've gone up 100 grams, so probably not going to happen anytime soon.
That used market.
Yeah. No, the used market is going up.
Oh, well, never mind.
I think they stopped making it, so
Oh,
Yeah.
That'll do it to them.
yeah, it'll do it. So, yeah.
I mean, I'd love to have a GTR. I'm
Yep.
a Nissan guy through and through, if that hasn't been made clear. But I would love to have a GTR, but you can't touch those either. They're
Yep.
ridiculous. You
Yep.
can't even touch a Z hardly anymore.
Yep. And they're going up now too, because I think the R35 is done. Right? They stopped the R35?
Yeah, the R35 is done, but they're going to come out with an the R36.
Oh, they are?
soon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a hybrid for sure. But they did confirm, like literally, like a day or two ago, that it's going to have the same VR38 DETT that the R35 had.
I mean, why would they change it?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the same engine that they've been
I
rocking.
mean,
and
honestly,
rolling.
if they take that and then make it a hybrid with even more all-wheel drive torque, like, that's going to be a crazy car.
That's the concept, I
Yeah.
think. That's basically what they're rocking. That's what they're kind of like goaling it towards. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it will look something like the kind of hinted at, Gran Turismo concept
Yeah.
that they came out with a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will lean
I really
towards
like the
that.
GTR 50 that they made.
Yes.
That, like, concept-looking car, but they
Yes.
actually made it in real life.
that
cool
was a
car.
very cool car.
Yeah. If they were smart, okay, I wouldn't say if it's smart. It's just kind of my opinion, I guess. If it was me making the R36 and they were going to keep that engine, I'd make that engine mid-engine, put it in the back, power only the rear wheels, and then put their hybrid system do the front.
I mean, that's what everybody else does, though.
And it's for a reason.
Yeah, it does work.
But that's how the NSX is.
GTR has always been
All-wheel dri- like
a
true all-wheel
front-wheel
drive.
drive,
Yeah.
or a front engine
Yeah.
all-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
I think it would probably.
A lot of people aren't gonna like it if they do
Yeah.
that, but I'm saying,
It would. I mean, they did
That's-
it with the Corvette and it worked.
yeah.
So it wouldn't. It's not without like It's not outside.
I mean,
of
all the hypercars are doing that now. They all make it mid-engine. They all make it.
But there's something nice about having a
Yeah,
car that's
yeah,
like that's what I
100%.
liked about the GTR was that it was still a car. Like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's Godzilla. It's this
Yeah.
crazy track car. I mean, it's all that, but
Yeah.
kind of like the Porsche 911, it was still something that you could drive to work every day in.
Yep.
It still had like, somewhat of a backseat area. It still had like interior space. It was still relatively refined on the
Yeah.
highway.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a Grand Touring
Yeah.
R.
Yeah.
So they did it. They did that.
Yeah.
I would say right, but
Yeah.
that was what I always liked about it was that it was
still-
almost effortlessly fast
Yeah.
because it was all of those things, but it was still really fast.
Yes.
And it had good reliability. So
Yeah.
it was like, okay, well,
And I will say to me, the coolest thing about the R35 was it didn't change for 17 years or 16 years, something like that.
that was just Nissan.
Well, you could say that, but I could also argue that it just didn't need to.
That's fair.
When they stopped making it is when it started becoming out of date. It was not out of date until they started being like, okay,
That's fair because
literally everything that came, like, that was trying to compete against, they just could not match. Unless you're paying 400 grand, like for a Ferrari or something like really hyper. Everything in its class, it just was not even close.
And you know what? That's so. It's funny because like it's one of those cars that if you saw at a stoplight, if you roll up to a stoplight and you see an R35 GTR,
Yeah.
you get excited about it because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, there's a GTR right
Yeah.
there.
I saw one
And-
today, actually. On the way,
Did you really?
On the way to your house, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I told Lauren, she was like, what? I was like, where is it? I was like, oh, it's that car right there. Because it looked like every other car on the road. And then he got on it and just like darted. Both of ours just darted towards it. So,
But it doesn't matter if it's an 07,
Yeah.
if it's the first year
Yeah.
here in America, or I think they did 07 or 09, whatever it was here in America, or
Yeah.
if it's a 21.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're all the same.
Yeah.
So you see one and you still get just as excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
We still just get just as excited to see it in 2026
Yeah.
as you did in 2008.
yeah.
So
exactly.
it's one of those cars that's kind of timeless in that
Yep.
way. But
Yep.
but it is funny that Nissan just did not change hardly anything for
Yeah.
any of their cars from like
Yeah. They changed
05 to like now.
Yeah. Some of the mechanical stuff needed to be changed because they were having problems with it. And then obviously some interior changes, like the infotainment screen, probably changed a couple times, and maybe some front bumper.
They did
facelift.
change. They did have a facelift in like 17.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
if I remember right. But yeah, I minor
Stuff.
It's
just
still the
because
same
they
car.
didn't need to.
Yeah.
They literally came out with that first generation, like that. If I say first generation, but like those first couple of years, and they were like, okay, well, this is what breaks, I guess. So let's fix that, and then that's it. So
Good.
and that's what I liked about that GTR. And again, I'm not dogging on the R35 at all. I like the NSX better.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the R35 more, but I don't
Yeah.
blame you for liking the NSX.
Yeah.
But I'm also not a big hypercar fan anyway. I'm
Yeah.
more of a sports level.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, the NSX is definitely a little bit more of a
That's what made
flashier
me.
car, I guess.
That's what made me sad about the new NSX is that it went the way of everybody else and made it a hypercar.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah.
that, even though I guess the original NSX was kind of its own a hypercar in its
Yeah.
day, so I can't really say.
Yeah, the NSX was definitely a little. They were trying a little too hard.
Yeah.
when they made it, which is a good thing. I mean, it's a good car. It's just
It was a hypercar too, I guess. In
Yeah.
a way, it wasn't competing
the-
with the F40, but it was.
Yeah.
It was definitely like
it was the only mid-engine of the Japanese cars.
Yeah, I just like that it was more, I guess, streetable than like your F40s and your F50s
Yes, and
your,
it still is.
your Porsche.
When
your
I
high-end
remember when I was
Porsche.
sitting in that NSX, I mean, you still had a radio or AC, like everything you need.
It's
in a
still
normal
the
car.
same. It's essentially the same. It's not a J series, but it's
Yeah.
the lineage going into the J series. So
Yeah.
it's a reliable Honda V6.
Yeah, it is. And it's twin turbo, like it's basically up my alley. Twin turbo
Oh, you're
V6.
talking about the new one. I was talking about the old one.
Oh,
but yeah,
yeah,
the new
yeah,
one.
the old
I
one,
think
yeah.
the new one may be a J series. I don't know. I don't know anything about the new ones actually, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah, I haven't done much research because it's just sad because I know I can't get one yet. when I get to the close to the top of buying one, then I'll just deep
Then
dive
you'll
into it.
research it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But anyway, you want to go through a quick list of the cars we've had? Maybe
Yeah,
some
a
notable
quick
notes
list.
about 'em?
My first car ever, 1979 Chevrolet Love 4x4. Second car, 2001 Jeep Cherokee POS. Third car, 96 Geo Metro. Fourth car, what did I get after that Cherokee? Or I sold the Cherokee, got the Metro. I'm gonna forget some cars here because I had a few. I had a lot. I had some cars I had for just a short period of time. But I had a '06 Impala SS with the 5.3 front wheel drive. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wish I hadn't sold that car. What did I get? I've had several Chevy Loves. A 1980 model, a 77 model, my original 79, another 79, and a 78. All around that same era. Had all those. And I've sold all those off. I don't have them anymore. The Geo's the only older car that I still have. But then sold all that stuff off. I drove my brother's Nova, 73 Nova. Had two Silverados, 93 one-ton Chevy with a 454. 98,000 miles on that bad boy.
Dang.
What else have I had? I could go on and on, but I've had a lot of like random stuff, whatever I can get my hands on, basically.
Yeah.
Whatever I can get for cheap. And I am pretty staunchly against new cars for multiple reasons. I just don't like the way they drive. I used to be a used car tech. I got to drive them all from that era.
Yeah.
And every car I drove, I walked away feeling better about driving an older car, if that makes sense. So, not just because of like problems, I just didn't like the features.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of touchscreens at all.
Yeah.
Unless I add it in myself, if that makes
'Cause then
sense.
it's cool.
Well, then it's like, okay, I want this.
Yeah.
But I don't have to have this. I can take that out at any time.
Yeah.
I can't go to a new Nissan Altima
Yeah.
or a new Frontier.
Yeah.
It's permanent.
Yep.
I don't like that. I don't like the interconnectedness, but we're not getting into that. Anyway, then I got my hard body, my V6, and then I had my 95 that I just sold, and the cars I have now.
Yeah.
So I know I'm forgetting some.
Yeah.
I know I've forgotten. Briefly had a '01 Malibu. I briefly had when I say briefly, I mean both these were like less than a month.
Yeah.
Briefly had like an '03 Pontiac Bonneville
Yeah.
that I autocrossed on Dodge Demon tires.
Nice.
That I got for free from a Dodge Demon owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go on and on, but I've had a lot of old stuff. The newest vehicle I've ever had
Yeah.
is that motorcycle. It's an '07.
07?
That is the newest vehicle I've ever
Well, I
owned.
got you beat then for sure on that. Well, like I said earlier, I don't have to, but I really am not interested in a car unless it's like the top model, just because I wouldn't say I'm very judgy on the car, but if I know that there's something else the car can do, I just don't think it's fair to, I guess, judge it on how it is as a car if it's not the top model. Like, it'd be like judging a 350Z, but not. It's saying it's a bad track car, but you're in a base model, not a Nismo. So that is just how my mind works on that type of stuff. So a lot of the cars I'm about to say are like really cool, like top of the line cars that I gotta drive and have fun with. And a lot of these are just stepping stones. Like I said, like I really just wanted the Spider. So I was really good at getting a really cool car for like a month or two, and then driving it.
You were
having
constantly
fun,
switching,
and then getting another one. It's just
you're always trading.
always trading up. So Okay, so I guess from where it started, let's see, I had a 300ZX without an engine in yet, but it was a turbo model. It just didn't have the engine, and ended up not really having the time to work on it, so I sold it for an MR2 turbo, the SW20 model. And that's the...
That's a fun car.
Yep. That is probably the car that I kind of miss the most, and I wish I would have kept because of price, because I bought it for $2,000.
Yeah, good luck finding that one again.
Yeah, and the cheapest one I could find running is $13,000.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and I sold it. I sold it for $2,000 with the blown head gasket, and I was like, oh, I actually like did good on this one, I guess, because I sold the whole car for not working for $2,000. But now I'm just like, God damn it! Should have kept that car. So yeah. Anyway, I got the MR2. That's actually the car that me and my wife met in. After that, I had a Dodge Stealth turbo model, and I built that one up to pretty high horsepower numbers. Unfortunately, one of the fuel lines under fuel, like I guess under boost or fuel pressure or whatever, just came off, started a fire. So that car did not last very long after that.
It burned to the ground?
The engine compartment did. Ooh. They're actually pretty good at blocking that from coming in.
Oh, the fire wall.
Yeah.
Walled off the fire.
It did. So every other part of the car was in pretty pristine condition. It still had the red carpet. I did a lot of stuff to that car, and thankfully Jared bought that off of me for a pretty reasonable price, just because there's no engine left.
Yeah.
He had to completely rebuild it, but I ended up selling that, which was kind of a good thing in hindsight, because I had that in high school, and I was just about to go to OU. So that probably shouldn't have been my commuter to Tulsa to OU, on the weekends. So good thing that kind of happened, because after that I ended up getting, this is a weird jump here, but I went from that to a 2013 Juke Nismo.
I laugh, but like
Yeah.
I would drive the crap out of one of those.
Yeah, it actually was a pretty fun car. As much fun as they get made fun of. It only had like 180 horsepower. Or no, it had 215. Sorry, it had 215. It was the Nismo. I forgot. All they did is tune it. It's the same engine. Everything's the same. It's just a aero package. And
Way nicer seats.
Way nicer seats. You actually get GTR seats. I didn't have the GTR seats in mine. It was an upgrade you get in the Nismo. I just had normal Nismo seats.
Even the normal Nismo
Yeah,
seats.
the normal Nismo seats are Recaro Nismo seats, so they were really cool. They were suede.
They're the ones that we try to find.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of guys try
Yeah,
and get
they
just
were
those
factory
seats.
Nismo seats, which is really cool, I thought. But if you paid a whopping $2,000 extra for brand new, you get the actual GTR red and black leather Nismo seats, which is like sweet. And you can find them actually, because most people that bought that car new got the Nismo seats or the GTR seats. So that was a cool car. I went from that to an IS 300 wagon. I think it's called Sport Cross actually, and that was a cool car. It had the 2J in it. It was an auto. That was my first auto. It did, yeah. It was my first auto, and it was a pretty cool car. Ended up selling that for another 3000 GT. This was in Panama Green. That one started having oil pressure issues.
That was a fun car too.
It was a fun car.
That was the car you were driving when you owned the IS 300 when I first was introduced to you.
Yeah.
But the Panama Green 3000 GT is the one that I immediately associated with you.
Yeah.
Once we finally got to actually start to get to know each other.
Yeah, and that was my first chance to actually drive a 3000 GT. Because like I said, the Stealth I had, I put a bunch of money into making it fast. And then like a week after, it caught fire. So, and in that week, I was in the kind of like a break-in period, because the engine needed to, the oil needed to go through it. So I never even got on it. And then obviously this Panama one was stock. I mean, it had like the basic bolt-on stuff, like an exhaust and air filter and stuff like that. But it wasn't it made basically stock figures.
But it was fun.
It was a fun car, and I actually got the Active Aero working on it and everything, and it was cool. It was a cool car.
Great.
But like I said, it started having oil pressure issues, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to figure out how to get rid of this. And then that was actually around the time where I got the Spider, so I got that Spider. And then so I usually have two streams of vehicles going. I usually have cars, and then I had bikes I was just training up on. And on the bike side, I've had basically all the 600s from all the major sport bike brands, so Honda, Yamaha, and Kawasaki.
Never heard of Suzuki?
Nope, I never had a small Suzuki. I had a Busa for a little bit, and by a little bit I mean 2 days.
2 whole days.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna like it. I did not like it. But to be fair, the one I got was pretty clapped. Like,
I feel like 90% of them out there.
yeah, and it was a first gen, like a 03, like fairings on zip ties, back brakes non-existent. The front brake, when I would press it in, would just like fall. So yeah, it was not in the best condition.
That's at the point where you just
It was unsafe.
You just take that engine and transmission assembly out and put that into some goofy thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't
and
do that.
Scrap the rest of the bike.
yeah, I was thinking about that, but it had 47,000 miles, so that probably wasn't the best way to do that either. It wasn't.
Someone put a lot of miles on a Boost.
Yeah. So, but yeah, basically the small 600s, and then I went from the Kawasaki 636, which to me is the best 600 you can buy. Like, if you're looking for a 600 sport bike, get an 04, 05, or 06 Kawasaki Ninja 636. It is by far the best. Even with the new ones. Like this, I don't know what they did with that 05, but it was crazy. Crazy, a lot of power. It looks nice, has the undertail exhaust. It was the best 600. But anyway, I went from that to a lot bigger bike. And by bigger, I mean CC and just size. So my grandfather's the reason I got into bikes, and he had a Yamaha FJR. And I was kind of looking for like the same type of bike because we were doing a lot of big road trips. And I was like, well, I kind of want something cooler than his though.
Of course.
So I was trying to get a Goldwing or something like the BMW version, a little out of my price range at the time. But then I found out Kawasaki made a touring version of their ZX14 called the Concourse. It's a 1400, so it's bigger than his 1300 Yamaha. That wasn't like the main reason, but the main reason was it was in my price range. That was 100% the main reason.
There's where it goes.
But I got that,
and it was bigger than your grandpa.
So. Yeah, that was just a plus. But I got it. It was a really fun bike. I actually sold that and got a newer version of it. Loved that bike too. Put a full Akrapovic exhaust on it. Like I basically did all of like the cool ZX14 stuff to it, but it was still a touring version. So, and it was my daily driver for college. Like I would literally park it for class and then go home or go hang out with friends. Go highway riding with friends.
Go drag racing with it because you did that.
Yep.
Busted down a 9-second quarter-mile time in a bike.
Yeah, my first time actually.
Saddlebags and a fairing.
Yeah, first time. He just kept wanting me to go with him, and I was like, oh, I don't have a car that'll do it. Like, all my cars were stock, and he was like, ride your bike. And I was like, I take this to college. Like, it's not a fast bike. It's just a touring bike. Like, it has saddlebags and everything. He's like, just have fun. Like, it doesn't matter what you run.
We were just going out. I was driving. I was racing a Silverado, a dead stock Silverado. So we were just out there for fun at that time.
And I was super nervous. I had all my leather stuff on though, and I was ready. And I remember that first thing. I was like, man, that was pretty fast. It felt good. And then I circled back, and at the time they actually had the weigh station open. There's someone working there.
Yeah.
And the person on the walkie-talkie said, said something, and they looked at me and they were like, hey, you can't race anymore. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, if you are faster than a 10 on a bike, you need all leathers. And at the time I still don't have leather pants. And I was like, so I went faster than a 10? And she was like, yeah. Like just like super like monotone, but she was like, yeah, you went faster than 10. And I was like, what? I had my saddlebags on me, I had the big ass windshield up to here. Like I was like, that is freaking sweet.
And here I was at that time. I was trying to get into the nines with that truck.
Yeah.
So I was really jealous, but that was really cool. I was really proud for you. I was excited because You had the fastest time of the night.
Yeah. So
Everyone
I
else-
drove it there and I drove it back, saddlebags and everything.
I'll never forget that.
But and then I went from that to a BMW K1300S, which changed my mind on BMW bikes for sure. I always thought they just were like their cars, just piece of shit, but it is not. That was a really, really cool bike.
Yeah, they're pretty surprising.
Yeah. And it had I remember my favorite thing was it had a factory Akrapovic exhaust on it, and it was a factory quick shifter from factory. Like, so all this was like a factory, like kind of cool, like racing track bike. I just didn't, no one's ever talked about it. They always talk about their S1000 Rs and stuff, but this is a way cooler bike, honestly. Anyway, I went to drive it, and it was pretty fast. It was pretty fun. But then I learned that it had the quick shifter, and I started getting on with that quick shifter, and it is one of my favorite sounding bikes with that quick shifter and that exhaust. It sounded so good. So I'll never forget that bike. But then after that, I got my ZX14 that I currently have now, and think that, I don't know if it's going to be a forever bike, but it's going to be for a long time. I kind of want an H2, but there's a lot of upsides and downsides with the H2, and
If I could, I say keep the ZX.
yeah, and I'm leaning more towards keeping the ZX14 and just building that, just because.
I
I
mean,
don't
the
think
H2
H2's worth it.
Everyone fell in love with the H2, myself included.
Yeah.
I'm not even a huge bike guy, but
Yeah.
you know, everybody knew what that was, and we all loved it, thought it was cool, and it is cool. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I'm not saying it's not, but it's also it's a track bike.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It'd be great if you had 10 other bikes and 3 cars and a
Yeah.
race team. And
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
other
It's definitely
stuff.
not an only bike thing. It's
It's one of those bikes it's really good for privateers and racing,
yeah.
and the few enterprising individuals that have the money to
Yeah.
fork over for that kind of thing.
Yep.
But I mean, that's the R, I guess I
Yeah.
should say. But even the street version
Yeah.
is not too far off from that.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
it's still more race oriented than
For sure.
a ZX14, even though
Yeah.
the ZX14 is still a very, very fast bike.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still more streetable.
Yeah,
I
if,
think.
if I had like the budget, obviously, I would have the H2 with a BMW touring bike, just so I can still have a big bike that I don't have to care about. I can have my wife in the back, just because the H2 is just too much bike, if that makes sense. Like it's literally like it's made for one purpose, and that's to go faster on a track, and it does it really well. It's just. I like to drive my bike a lot just for like daily use, and it just wouldn't be the best
I know
bike for
that bike. Haven't been out long enough for a lot of people to put that kind of mileage on them. But I know those bikes are not going to last long.
Yeah, because it's
mileage.
supercharged.
Yeah, they've got so much mechanical issues. They're not issues, but they've got so much mechanically going on. They're also so tuned for
Yep.
speed.
Yep.
At the cost of everything else.
Yeah,
They're-
and you know
the
if you buy
longevity
them
isn't going to
used-
be there. I don't.
Yeah,
think.
if you buy them used, you know they've been driven hard. Like there's no way.
no one's buying an
With
H2 to
H2
go to church on.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think the ZX14 is
Yeah.
a better, safer bet.
yep. So like that's what I'm leaning towards right now.
Heck, at the
But
very least, we'll just put a supercharger on your ZX14.
exactly, and be cheaper.
Yeah.
But I will say, I have a really good feeling. I have someone on the inside that kind of knows that the H2 department, they have their own like department kind of part of Kawasaki, kind of like how Corvette and Chevy, but maybe not that much. But they have their own H2 department, and they're working on something new. If it's what I think it's going to be, I think I'm selling the ZX14 and buying a brand new. I'm actually we'll pay payments and stuff on it just because.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty badass bike.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, yes. This is speculation. All this is rumor. Probably not true, but if it is, like I said, I'm buying it. They have 2 hybrid bikes right now. Obviously not doing well themselves because I haven't seen one in person, but they have 2 hybrid bikes. And I've heard that they are trying to keep the H2 motor. Everything else, same with H2. Make it a hybrid on the front wheel. So it's a all-wheel drive bike that makes close to 260 now horsepower.
That's going to be unreal.
Yeah, which I would think would be insane. I'm
Coming from like the only all-wheel drive bikes I know of are like the old 4x4, or
Yeah.
not 4x4, but trail bikes.
yeah.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah. And what I've been talking, I've realized it sounds like I really love hybrids. I don't know.
think you might love hybrids.
I might like hybrids, I guess, but
I'm on
maybe
the
I
other
like
end of the spectrum.
performance hybrids, I guess.
I'm on the other end of the spectrum where
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even like fuel injection that much half the time. I'd
Yeah.
rather put a carburetor on it.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. But like I said, probably a rumor. Maybe, probably not. I don't know. If it comes out, it comes out. But I've had a lot of like other cool cars like in betweens, but not for long. So like, I guess I had another 300ZX, a gold one. I had a 350Z Ford Taurus Show, the first gen, LS 460 Corvette. I drove a 328i for a little bit. Every now and then I get the need for a weird, quirky car, and then I just get out of it. But those are the notable ones that I can remember. So
well, I'd say we've gone on for a while, but
Yeah.
share your first car in the comments if you're on YouTube or
yeah, Spotify actually has the comment thing on the podcast
share
too.
it on there too.
Yeah,
Your first car and your dream car, put it on there.
yeah. And if you have any questions about any cars we've had, ownership of them or whatever, I mean,
Put it on there.
yeah, well, I guess room. But anyways,
Alrighty. Well, we will catch you next week or next
Yep.
time we do
next
this.
time we do this, yeah. Well, we're gonna try to do one every Wednesday, something like that.
Try to.
Yeah, we might skip
Things
a Wednesday
happen,
or two,
but we'll try and keep it relatively.
Yeah, so
on schedule.
Well, we'll film it on Wednesday, and then usually I'll kind of edit it, kind of a little bit, I guess, trim it. Wouldn't go to edit yet, but trimming it a little bit to make it a little more enjoyable. Usually I post that Thursday afternoons. So,
All right.
all right, well, we'll talk to you later.
Catch you next time.